Bullet game I just played here. I like it for the fact that it demonstrates a kind of interesting principle I picked up in Fisher Random is you need to wait for the king to castle before you can attack it sometimes. As everything I do in this game is building up to a king side attack. He'd almost be wise to either stay in the center or maybe later on thinking about queen side. Um, it seems kind of odd though. You might say, why is it a king side attack with the pawns pointing towards the queen side? That's the traditional rule to go by. But I have the F5 break that can come here because the knight supports it on D4. And if he takes my knight on D4, I have another to replace it. So there's a lot of neat things. The white bishop and queen are going to use that diagonal to break through. Um, I've had more success pushing my F pawn than any other strategy from white or black's perspective for a massive kingside attack. And we'll see that play out here. But you'll also see the interesting principle of waiting for the other player to if he castled right now, I'd be happy. I immediately have a big attack with queen h5 coming, but he's I almost didn't think he would do it here. He's delaying the castle, and I thought that was smart. He's trying to pick off my good piece, my good attacking piece, but I'm not going to let him. And now I'm basically just waiting for him to castle to start this attack. That move is the first just pure waiting move. I guess I'm kind of correcting a small mistake. I want to get my rook on the c file or just out somewhere, but the idea is I'm just waiting here. Now I have my bishop where I want it. He's gonna back up the queen, which is almost always better to have the queen in front of the bishop, but there's always exceptions, of course. Now the castle. Now there's a few ways I could approach it. There's the two obvious queen moves, both threatening mate in one, is the queen c2 and queen h5. It's hard to say without a computer which one's better. I opt for queen c2. I have more interesting attacking chances in the fact that, well, if he plays g6, then my queen has to move and he gets a tempo. Now he should just block me off with this knight. Then I'd have to figure out a way to get rid of the knight and rearrange my pieces. So that could almost shut the whole attack down. That's interesting, that knight move I didn't even consider for him. He plays the obvious move, and this looks kind of silly now that I see that he has knight e4 at any time, which could just derail my attack. The knight's an excellent, not even blockading there, he's just defensively interfering with my whole plan with that knight on e4. And I can't easily take him because he's backed up. That shuts the attack down, and that's what he should have done. But he plays incorrectly and plays that g6, and now the break can come very easily. It looks at first like I'm just losing the pawn for nothing, but I know this pattern very well. If I take with the knight and he takes back with the pawn, the mate's coming because there's no way to now stop the queen bishop battery from hitting h7, and the game's pretty much over, especially since this f file will be clear if the rook moves, and then I'll mate him probably on f7 if that were to go down that way. So knight takes, can't recapture. He should now play rook. He should play anything but what he does, really, because he plays his defending rook. That's on the f8 square. That rook is useful there. He plays that out, and that's what pretty much leads to. And now I'm pretty sure it's forced mate at this point. It's 4 or 5, maybe 6 moves off, but they all come pretty fast. It's a nice little mating pattern. And it plays itself at that point. If you take your time to set up a good attack, the attack plays itself sometimes. And it's interesting that all could have been disrupted with knight e4, which is a kind of a very odd defensive move that works in this position pretty well, actually. Very well. There's no way to easily get around that. I have to rearrange everything. He's doing good with knight e4. I mean, maybe not. Yeah, good, because the knight itself on e4 not only is an excellent defender, it's an attacker too. It's devastating my position. He's black's better after knight e4. That's interesting what you see, after examining a 1 minute game, how easily he could have just derailed this whole attack. But in the end, he didn't see it, and this attack was pretty fun to play. But thanks for watching.